Welcome back, everyone. Last time we suffered a major error when the game froze, and as a result, our boy Lil Swimmer, Vaporeon, was brutally slain in the karate gym over here. Prior to that, we had progressed pretty far into Sliph Co and had already beaten the karate gym. Now we have to go through Sliph Co again, and I'm gonna be doing some more frequent saving in case of an emergency like that again. As you can see, we have a K-Drool in the spot replacing Lil Swimmer. K-Drool is significantly weaker, and I don't really feel like grinding, but I feel like I have to at least put K-Drool in this top spot for right now. Item-wise, I think we're okay. Let me move some potions up to the top, though. Yeah. Wish there was a faster way to scroll. Okay, and then let's give you some TMs here. Let's see here. I don't think Lucky Chance really gonna do much for us here. Oh, we have Giga Drain though. That's way better than Mega Drain, at least. We have Psychic right here. Let's give you some more attacks here. Give that over Takedown. What about Shadow Ball? I think. Let's give it to King here. Let's give you that over. Do you need Rock Tomb? Yeah, let's give it to you over Rock Tomb. Okay, and then let's see here. Leech. Alright, well I think we're good for now. Let's just start going floor by floor. Our goal is to at the very least reach that same point. And just to be safe here. Man, we have to do every single rocket grunt we already did again. That sucks. I mean, I guess on the bright side, the enemy Pokemon here seem to be on the same level as K-Drool, so if we come to a favorable matchup, we might actually just have the 1v1 there. You know, I feel like Reshiram might be my favorite legendary. Just looks cool. Just looks cool as fuck. Love the typing. But yeah, so as for the usual, I just put out a new Elestral's profile. Earth Control featuring our boy Mudlit. I originally wanted to do a bigger Earth video featuring the new eruption strategy and then Wasp Ivy, but those are just so completely different that I think they deserve their own videos. And in the case of the what's called eruption deck, I just don't think it's good, and I don't really feel like putting time into learning that deck if it's not good. because for me to make like one of those profiles, I gotta order the cards, and I don't want to order cards if the deck isn't going to be good. And I'm sure it'll be good at some point, but it's a hard cost to summon Voltuga and then immediately have to kill it for its own effect. The strategy would be so cool otherwise, but that eruption is now a 3-cost card. Like, no thank you. Not really worth investing into in that regard. Wasp Ivy's cool though. I was digging Wasp Ivy. Solid boss monster. Cool effect. Cool strategy with the what's called, with the poison cards. The one thing that's kind of confusing to me about it is it very specifically lists the 3 poison cards we already have. Or in one case, a poison card that would come out in the next set. So my issue there is, do we just not get poison cards anymore? Because it's a cool idea. It just sucks if it's like, yeah, these 3 only. When you easily could have just been like any poison card. But a small issue. But yeah, I've been really enjoying the Earth deck. You know, I played Solar for a bit, and I liked it. It's cool, but just isn't my playstyle, which is a shame because I really like Celestia, as a concept at least. But I don't know, just it's not how I like to play card games. I like being way more aggressive, and that's a slower deck. It's a slower deck that you just kind of gotta think a lot, and sometimes I just want to go pure caveman mode and just start beating over things. And Earth just has all the tools in the game right now, and it to me it feels really fair and balanced. It doesn't seem like it's ever too overwhelming. You know, it's a deck that has a lot of great tools and can just utilize them very well. Great design there. Easily my favorite deck in the game right now, and I feel like it's gonna be that way for a while. Though there's a bunch of cool stuff that's happening. Like Ice has Rhinosect, and I want to mess around with that. I like Morfrost in general. Just the deck isn't doing much because it's so expensive, and the new support didn't really do much for it. But you know, we'll get there. Started playing some Pokemon TCG. I think I talked about it before about the Victini deck. I think at the beginning of the month I'll buy the Miraidon deck, and then try to hit up some locals. And we'll see how that goes, depending on if I have time for locals or not. I do want to pick up a One Piece deck in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna have to start looking into that game and messing with the simulator. I talked about it before. I downloaded the app, and then I just haven't had time to really just sit down with it. But I'm looking forward to trying that out. As for Yu-Gi-Oh, the tins came out, or at least they're gonna come out, and we have the full like set list and everything now, and that's one of the most disappointing sets that I can remember possibly ever with this game. For those of you that don't know what that deal with that is, the tins reprint cards from the whole year with higher rarities, usually reprinted in lower rarities. So if it's a secret, you usually get it in commons or supers or ultras, making them way easier to get. The prices drop down. So for example, we have SP Little Knight, which was $120 at release, and I don't think it's really gone down because it hasn't seen any reprints or anything. And the reprint was announced for the tin, which normally would be great, but instead of reprinting it in like an ultra or super rarity, it's being reprinted as a secret again. And the way that these packs are working out is that you get less secrets than usual, and there's 100 secrets in the tin that you can pull, so you have less of a chance at pulling it than you did if you had bought the initial pack, you know. And then it's that for like almost every meta relevant card. There's 0 reprints that are good in terms of making it more affordable, and it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of pack filler in there that's just nostalgia bait. That being said, I do want the quarter century Blue Eyes for when Blue Eyes comes out, because they're the Kaiba deck Blue Eyes, and that's the best one. So I guess I picked those up as singles, but it's a shame because like Rarity Collection has come out twice, which I feel like maybe it shouldn't have. There's a third rarity collection on the way, and those are fun to open because you get cards that are either meta relevant or are good for previous formats. Um, you get them in nice rares. They come in multiple rarities, so you have multiple shots of pulling what you want. It's just been such a good product, and then the tins are just the complete opposite. So I don't know. It just Konami keeps doing dumb shit, and it's really baffling. But yeah, I'm just kind of shifting more into Lestrals and trying out Pokemon because right now I'm just not really enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a bunch of stuff that I like about it right now in terms of archetypes. Like Centurion to me is cool when it's not Calamity Turbo. I really like White Forest, but we have Azamina coming out in a couple weeks, and that deck is it's stupid. It's it turns Dia Bellstar into a one card Omni Negate in under 3 summons, and it's gonna buff Snake Eyes. It's everything that's wrong with the game this year. And there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. There's 6 Sam support, which to me is just cool to see after like over 10 years, I think, at this point. Well, no, because I guess we had the Exceed starter deck a while back, but that was still a long time ago too. That might have been 10 years ago. But yeah, there's cool stuff. There's a new Centurion card, and it's just there's stuff that I want in there, and I like the Azamina cards as a concept. They look cool, but it's just why why are we continuing to buff this deck? We did get a bunch of new support announced for the. I don't know if it's the next set or like the next side set or something, but it has a whole bunch of support for like fabled monsters and just older archetypes, and that I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping we get some like Yang Zing support because I love Sword Soul and I just want the excuse to play more Sword Soul. But yeah, just there's cool stuff, and then it's just overshadowed by some of the dumbest, most broken cards that Konami's ever printed. But on to wrestling talk. Raw was chill. I didn't really think much of it. It was just like, all right, it's an episode of Raw. But AEW was kind of a weak episode, and I really just don't understand what we're doing with Ospreay here. I like Ospreay. 99% of the time. That 1% is when he just decides he's done selling for the match and shit. But he's already a champion. Like, he's already got this title. Why are we putting him in this another title match? I get that they want to push Fletcher, and I get that they're building up to the storyline with him and Ospreay. That storyline doesn't need tag team titles. It doesn't need Ospreay to be in another title scene. I don't know. I don't get why there's so many good teams in AEW, and they all get pushed aside for the same 3 teams. And then here's a chance to push a new team and elevate a new team that is already part of the division, and instead the opportunity is going to Ospreay, and it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get this whole Darby Moxley storyline, just because the idea itself is dumb. Of, oh hey, I took out Bryan. He's not able to compete at a Grand Slam, so you're gonna defend your title shot against me. And then the same show, oh yeah, Nigel McGuinness is calling out Bryan to compete at Grand Slam, and it's just like, okay, well, now Darby just looks stupid because he's putting his title on the line when he should instead be fighting for the title. And if your champion can't be cleared for a title shot, then he shouldn't be cleared for competition at all. So it's irritating. I don't know, man. There's just ideas that happen where it's like, why would you write it this way? And I want to see Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan. You know, it's a match that I just never thought I'd see on a major platform like this. And it's just happening in one of the dumbest ways that I think you could have written. I don't know. Just weird decisions being made. SmackDown on Fox started off pretty solid. No real lows on the show. Like, I thought it was probably the best SmackDown's been in a while. Like, it feels like they were just kind of counting down the days till they were off Fox. A couple issues I had was immediately we got some holy shit chants. I don't even think they were holy shit chants. I think they were just OTC chants. And then for some reason, USA was censoring them. So you just got large portions of that opening match to a muted crowd. And it just... It's not as bad as it was with Fox. And just, you know, blacking out the screen and muting the sound. But it's still irritating. And I don't get it, man. Like, you see AEW getting away with some of the most heinous shit around. And then WWE can't even have holy shit chants. I could understand if it was, hey, we don't want our talent to cuss on air. I could get that. But instead it's, hey, we don't want the crowd to say anything bad either. Which is why the rumors of AEW going to Fox are so bizarre to me. Because you can't have that product on Fox. Fox was a network that if a fan flipped off and the talent, they would black out the screen for 5 seconds. If a sign had something bad on it, and I mean bad by like company standard on it, the screen would black out for like 10 seconds. And it would black out every time the camera happened to catch that. If a talent cussed, it's censored, it's delayed. It's awful. It was shit. You had The Rock come back and half his promo was black screened. You have Logan Paul coming out to massive boos, and then half the time it's just a black screen. And you want me to believe that MJF can exist on that network? MJF is literally like a 20-minute black screen on Fox. It's not gonna fucking work. Whatever the TV deal is for AEW, I just hope it's pay-per-views on Max. It'd be so nice to just not have to pay money for them in the same manner, especially when the WWE Network exists. I got paid for All Out, you know, did the VPN stuff, so, you know, $25, which was cool, but it still felt like, yeah, I'm paying $20 for Max, you know. What if it was just on Max? When I'm paying for Netflix in the next coming year, it's like, yeah, I get WWE, I get the new One Piece, I get whatever else is on Netflix, because that's really all I care about. But, you know, I'm paying like $20 and I'm getting all that, versus AEW where I gotta pay for cable and then I gotta pay for pay-per-view on top of it. Just, I don't know. I just hope they find some kind of subservice, even if it's something weird like an AEW app. You know, just a way to pay $10 a month and then just get the pay-per-views. It just makes things so much more convenient. But yeah, SmackDown was cool. I miss Roman so much, man. It's crazy because I hated Roman during the Big Dog era. I was like, dude, I'm so tired of this fucker. But then he turned heel and it was like, oh, he's cool. Now he can be himself, or, you know, an extension of himself, versus this super cartoony superhero character, and things are good, you know. I'm kind of surprised they're going with the tag match for Bad Blood. I thought that we'd get Cody versus like Jacob Fatu or something, and Roman versus Solo there. But it's a cool way to build things up, you know. Different from what I expected. I'm so conflicted on Solo because on one hand, I think he's improved a lot. But at the same time, it just feels like you're just kind of here until Roman does something cool. Or like I'm just waiting for, you know, the Bloodline War Games match. And where the fuck is Jimmy Uso, bro? He got betrayed and then just died. Like, it's just, where the fuck is Jimmy Uso? Yeah, the rest of the show's cool. I remember much of it at this point because it was just cool to see Roman and Cody do all that stuff. But overall, solid. Austin Theory's probably has like the best stunner cell of all time. Homie pins himself. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, and of course there was the whole Ricky saga. Look, man, all I'm saying is, back in 2016, we had James Ellsworth show up and become this beloved jobber. I think Ricky's gonna repeat. They moved to USA. A new jobber appears. It's like fate. But yeah, wrestling school, NXT. I keep getting confused by NXT because it feels like it's moving to CW a lot sooner than it is, but then it's like, no, there's still like 2 more weeks of USA for them. And I don't know, it just feels like they're building up to stuff, which is cool, but it just feels like none of it really matters until they move to CW. What is Moonlight for us? HP regain? No. The TNA crossover is cool with them. You know, I'm enjoying what NXT is getting out of it. At least I don't really know if TNA is getting the best end out of it. It just feels like they could probably be sending some bigger names down there. But it's been cool so far. In my readings, I've been reading more Berserk. I got to the Golden Age. I don't know what the first arc is called. I forget the name of it, but yeah, it's pretty fucked up, you know. The whole time you're kind of led to believe, oh, you know, this king really truly loved his people, and then bad shit happened and he just lost his mind and, you know, trying to seek revenge for his wife. And it's like, nah, man, his wife just fucked Baphomet. And there's no reason given. Like, did someone summon Baphomet and Baphomet like hypnotized her? Did Baphomet just roll in and she was like, damn, Baphomet, nice dick, and then they fucked? Was it the cult thing where they were like, hey, to be one of us, you gotta fuck Baphomet? Like, what? I want more info behind that, you know? Instead, the big twist is, nah, man, she wasn't like hypnotized or some shit. She wasn't forced into these acts by someone. She voluntarily took the Baphomet dick, you know? I just want more info. Like, I want to know Baphomet's thought process. When the king started killing everyone, he was like, oh, damn, bro, I'm out? Or was he like just chilling? Was he watching? Was he finishing with someone else? Like, I need more info, you know? But yeah, Puck's a really fun character. It's always funny to see the contrast between like whatever fucked up shit Guts is doing, and then we cut to Puck just being comedy relief and having a completely different art style. Like, there's one page in particular that I'm thinking of where we go from this super detailed drawing of the king in his monster form, and then like a page later you have these little gags with Puck getting hit on the head and growing a large lump. And whenever I hear of Berserk, it's always told to me like, oh yeah, you know, it's super dark, it's super edgy at times, it's a story about betrayal, it's a story about revenge and just the progression of Guts. The comedic aspect is never really played up, and it's really weird because it's been a really big aspect so far. I'm not sure how it's gonna play off in the Golden Age because we don't have Puck to provide the comedic relief, but it's been interesting how well handled the juggling of styles is in that. Okay, I'm going to save here and then try to go down the elevator. But yeah, I got to Golden Age, and that first chapter is pretty intense, man. Like, we get young Guts, and then we see his adoptive mom, and then she dies, you know, and it's a big tragedy for our boy. Okay, so the elevator didn't cause the freeze; it was just a freak X. So there it is. Okay, we're gonna reload. But yeah, it was traumatic for our boy Guts. One more time on the elevator just to make sure. Yeah, so the elevator freezes, but the issue is I gotta go on the elevator. But yeah, then we see Guts training and being a little child soldier. And then that fuck sells him out to Donovan. That shit was insane. Like, the final chapter of the volume is, or I guess of the... How did I get it to go to the menu, though? Because I gotta go on the elevator. I have to use the elevator to get to, like, the basement floor, right? But yeah, like, the final chapter, trigger warning is Guts being sold for a night of I don't know how to say it, but like, Donovan, another soldier, pays Guts's adopted father, for lack of a better phrase, to just let him rape him. And the last page of that volume is Guts struggling to get to his sword and then not getting to his sword on time. And then the next chapter opens up and it's just Guts like laying in his tent, clearly traumatized from the previous night. And it was just wasn't expecting that when I started reading this. And maybe that's on me. I mean, the very first page when you start reading Berserk is Guts going balls deep inside a demon. So I don't know, maybe that's on me for being so naive about where the series is gonna go. Yeah, I don't know why I brought up Big One. And then we get to the Golden Age, or further chapters of Golden Age, where he meets Griffith and Casca, and you can just tell my boy Guts is clearly not, right in the head. And he meets Griffith, who just comes along and seems like this perfect angel of a person. But we already know he's gonna fuck things up, So what I'm wondering is, was the eclipse a twist for the initial people reading it back upon release? Because I know about the eclipse. Like, it's been a major selling point of the manga to me. I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I just know it happens. I know it's a big deal. I have the gist of what happens. But my question is, we know from the beginning of the story that Griffith is a bad guy. We're introduced to him as a villain, and Guts is screaming like, "Yeah, you're the reason I'm like this," So my question is, how is it set up to be a twist for us that the eclipse happens? Is it just the scale of which Griffith does things? Did the story just go on so long that people forgot Griffith was a bad guy? Or is it just been like, we're expecting him to a slow turn and then he just suddenly does it? Man, the elevator would be real fucking nice. So yeah, I don't know. I'll get there when I get there. I think right now, Guts was leading the pack as a distraction. I think that's the last thing I remember reading. But I've been enjoying Berserk. It's been an interesting read. I'm about to fold on Hunter x Hunter, man. Like I'm ready to start reading again, even though it's like on a massive cliffhanger. I know new chapters are coming out next month, and I kind of just want to be on board with it as they come out. But man, it's hard. It's hard to get back into it, just knowing it might be like another year or two before we get more chapters, if we're lucky. You know. And sometimes Togashi will post something on Twitter, and it's like, "Oh, my back is fucking up," and it's just like, "Man, Togashi, I don't want you to push yourself harder than you have to, you know. I just want you to take care of yourself. You know, just hire someone else to do the art for you. Like, I'm begging you. I'd rather see the story come out with someone else's art, but you know, his vision, than to have Togashi suffer. But is it his pride? I don't know, man. It's just, it sucks because there's a big part of me, like 99% of me is like, hey, I'd rather Hunter x Hunter go unfinished if it means Togashi lives a healthy life and that his back is okay. There is that 1% of me that's like, Togashi, bro, you gotta finish the story, bro. You gotta finish it. You know, just whatever it takes. At this point, I'll take like a text copy. I'll take Togashi sitting down with a typewriter and typing up the story, or speech to texting it. You know, just like, hey, this is my plan. I'll take an outline at this point. You know, but I don't know. It's rough to read those updates sometimes and just feel like, man, Togashi, just hire someone else to do the art for you. Like, it just, oh man, it sucks. And it's not even about Hunter x Hunter having like a more consistent release. Don't get me wrong, that'd be great. But it's just, it's his health, man. And like, he ended the Yu Yu Hakusho because of his health, and now he's on this like weird schedule with Hunter x Hunter, and I don't know, like, is he doing this out of obligation because he feels like he's gone too far? Is he doing this because he's like, no, this is the story I have to tell? Is he doing it for the fans, the readers? Like, what's... I want Togashi to be healthy, man, and it sucks. It feels like Hunter x Hunter is killing him, you know? But I'm about to fold and start reading it, and oh man, I don't want to. Like, I really want to wait till at the very least they're off this fucking boat. But it just looks so fucking cool, man. It just looks so fucking cool. Like, but yeah, you know, there's my Hunter x Hunter status. JJK, I don't even know, man. It feels like they're setting up another arc. And I'm like, you can't be setting up another arc. We only got 2 chapters left, you know? Are they going to announce a sequel book? In which case, why the fuck did we rush everything? Why didn't you just leave shit for the sequel book? So I don't know. Or a beam. Do I switch you out? Do I heal you? Oh. Oh. Hell yeah, Cage Rule. Cage Rule's not going to make sense if I get like a Sunflora out of this one. But it's not going to make sense if it's Vileplume, because Vileplume doesn't drool either. Do we have to change the nickname? Or do we just assume that you're always going to be Cage Rule in spirit? Decisions. But yeah, JJK is just, I don't know, man. It's so crazy to me because everything from the beginning up until Shibuya, or the end of Shibuya, was gold. And a lot of the beginning parts of the Culling arc I enjoyed, because it felt like we're setting up for something crazy, something big, and then it kind of dragged out, where we were just doing fights for the sake of doing fights. And then we get to the Sukuna battle. Gojo comes back and is immediately, Gojo'd. And it just felt like, man, we skipped over so much possible development. I can't complain about going immediately from Shibuya into the Cooling Games, because that's a cool concept to just go, hey, none of them have had a chance to rest. It's just one thing after another, But it also felt like after Shibuya, it would have been nice to have just a moment to breathe. Even if it was like a filler chapter, that was just like, hey, this is a flashback to before, the Shibuya, and just have it be a chapter where it's the main trio and they're just enjoying a week out. Just to give us a moment to breathe and just frame it as, as Yuji's remembering a very nice moment before everything went to shit and Nobara seemingly died. Give us a chance to breathe, but also mourn everything, and then jump into Cooling Games. Instead, it was like Cooling Games. Fight, Sukuna. Fight, Sukuna. For a year. And it's just, I don't know, man. Everything just feels so rushed now. And I'm very confused as to how they can make a satisfying ending in 2 chapters. But on the other hand, we have One Piece, and that shit's been cooking. Oda hasn't had a bad chapter in years at this point. The last time he disappointed me was the whole Orochi plot. Just because Orochi should have died so much earlier than he did. I'm really... It's like, One Piece spoilers, obviously, but the ending of the chapter, where Nami wakes up in this room and the initial 5 Straw Hats are just vanished for some reason. Are we not gonna get an Elbaf arc? Are we already in Elbaf and they're just... Is it Loki doing some shit? There's a lot of mystery there, but I'm also like, Oda, if you don't give us this Elbaf chapter, it's gonna be a problem. Because I've been waiting to see them get to Elbaf for a long damn time now. I would like to see them go to Elbaf. But man, there was one panel in particular this week where it was Bonnie and she was just smiling with Kuma, and I was like, damn, bro, what a perfect chapter. There was so much good stuff, but just those 2 panels, I was like, man, he really... Oda just knows how to make you care for a character. Like, Bonnie went from this random supernova that was just kind of in the background to this character that you just want to see be reunited with her dad and be safe, Kuma went from, this big scary dude that just popped up and started popping bubbles out of our crewmates to just this incredible character with some of the most depth and backstory in the entire series. And I don't know, Oda just excels at doing that, making you care and invest in the characters. So I'm excited to see where One Piece goes, but I feel like I'm always excited to see where One Piece goes. But I need some more manga to read. I ordered Vagabond Volume 2, or the big 3-in-1s, and I think that's not coming until October. So I'm kind of just stuck waiting there. I talked about it, I think last week or something, but I'm trying to read JoJo part 9 now? And again, I don't know if it's just the way that Araki's writing the new JoJo, or if it's the translation, but man, it is hard as fuck to read that character his dialogue is just so zoomery. And it's like I'm reading it like, man, what the fuck are you saying, Rocky? Like, what the fuck am I reading? And it's kind of put me off of reading just because I don't want to deal with homie's dialogue. As interesting as things are, you know, as cool as it is to see Rohan again, I'm like, dog, I can't handle this dialogue. But I'm gonna push through because it's JoJo and I trust Araki. But yeah, I ordered Vagabond. It's not gonna get here till like October, I think. And I would like to continue my journey with Vagabond. I was very interested in the characters and the story. The entire series was sold to me by those motivational TikToks where it's the Nujabes song playing in the background over panels from the manga. Like, that's what sold me. I was like, oh, this dude seems cool. But every other volume's in stock. Volume 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10, 11, I think 12, 11 to 12. Like, they're all in stock. But 2 is nowhere. 2 was like $50 on Amazon for some reason, and I was like, I'm not paying $50 for a book that's being sold, you know, MSRP for $30. So I finally ordered it for like $33, used, I think. But it's taking its sweet ass time getting here. Which sucks. I'm like, man, at this point I read the first 3 volumes like 2 months ago. And it's just been a matter of waiting for this volume to be stocked somewhere. So I guess I'm just gonna be reading Berserk and JoJo until I get there. I did start rereading Pokemon Special. Man, I forgot how much charm that world had. Like, Pokemon in general has charm to it, you know, but Pokemon Special is just, the characters are so full of life. The way the battles are drawn and just the ideas that go into it, and I love that world. There's so much that I wish the anime would take from that. I'm still not sure why there isn't a Pokemon Special anime, you know, which I think I've said before, but why isn't there a Pokemon Special anime? Like, they're making that Red movie. I don't need a live action Red movie. Just give me Pokemon Special as an anime. Like, that's all I want. But yeah, last time I read it, it was all, you know, fan translations, or I think it is there like 2 translations for it or something? But it was alternating between translations, so I'd get the official translation and then I would get the fan translation. So like every other chapter, Blue's name would be switched, and I refer to him as Blue because, you know, I'm an American, and in my copy of Gold and Silver, it was Gym Leader Blue. You know, so I'm gonna call him Blue. But there'd be chapters where Green would show up, you know, the girl, and then her name would be alternated with the translations too. So one chapter would be like, oh, I'm gonna go see Blue. The next chapter, flip the page, and suddenly it's like, oh, that's the girl. And then next chapter, yeah, I'm talking to Green, and I'm just like, all right, that's cool, I guess. I didn't need consistency anyways. That's overrated, I guess. But I read all the way up until, at that point, I think Diamond and Pearl had just come out. So that's where I left off, and I'm gonna try to get back there just because there's so much that I forgot. I remember really loving the Gold and Silver arc, mostly just due to what a little shit Gold was. Like, his Togepi might be my favorite character in the entire series. You know, it just, what if we took this wholesome little Pokemon and made it into the edgiest little bastard we could? I mean, I did love the Ruby Sapphire arc. I'm still not. The ending was a pretty big bullshit cop out. For those of you who, you know, care about spoilers for this, at this point, 20-year-old manga. Where do I want to switch here? Team Aqua is like winning. They're about to destroy the region. And up until this point, you know, every Protect has had six Pokemon, and our main Protect for the arc, Ruby, has only had 5, and we're in the final chapters now. Like, we're in the final conflict. He's only had 5 Pokemon, and then he's like, "Damn, we're about to lose this. Like, everything's gone bad. You know, what do we do?" And then he's like, "Oh, well, you know, I got my 6 Pokemon here. I think it's finally time to show it off." It's Celebi. His 6 Pokemon that he's had the entire fucking manga and just never used is Celebi. And then Celebi takes them back in time and lets them win. And it just feels like it doesn't feel like it is bullshit. One, you had a main character who had a legendary from the get-go. We just never see it. It's never alluded to. It's never like, "Oh yeah, dude, I have another Pokemon, but I'm saving that for a special occasion." Or, "Yeah, I have another Pokemon on me, but I want to keep that a surprise." It's never fucking brought up. It's never alluded to. It's literally just like last minute, "Well, fuck, here's my good buddy Deus Ex Machina." But yeah, that's like the one issue I've had with that series in general was the ending of the Ruby and Sapphire, because up until then I thought it was probably the best written part. Ruby and Sapphire themselves, excellent characters, but man, that ending would just it really tanked the part for me, and I know I'm gonna feel that same way when I get there here. But then we get Fire Red and Leaf Green, which was the entire reason I started reading the manga, was to get to that portion of the manga. Because, again, spoilers, but it's Mewtwo versus Deoxys. It's this big battle, really fucking cool. And I wanted to see that, but I was like, you know, I gotta read the whole manga again, invest in these characters. So you follow up the immediate disappointment of Celebi being Ruby's 6 Pokemon with just the pure hype of Mewtwo versus Deoxys. And part of it is kind of ruined just because the whole idea is Fire Red and Leaf Green. Red and Blue have to switch Pokemon temporarily. So, you know, Red has Blue's Charizard, and Blue has Red's Venusaur. And in the manga, the idea, or in the Japanese version, the idea is Fire Red, you know, Red with Charizard, and Leaf Green, Venusaur and Blue or Green. But you know, in America, he's Blue, so it's more like Leaf Blue. You know, the idea isn't as solid here, and it's just one of these where, like, for me, you know, as an American reader, that's Blue. He's always gonna be Blue. And it kind of just kills that one idea, which is a major idea. It's just not as cool to be like, yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Blue. But all right. But still, that portion is so far my favorite out of what I've read. It's followed up by the Emerald arc, which isn't as great to me. I think most people don't like Emerald. I could be wrong. Opinions could have changed on him in the past, like 15 years, but I remember not liking Emerald and people not caring for that plot. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in Ruby and Sapphire that are just kind of like, yo, what the fuck? That get resolved later on in Emerald. One of the major parts of Ruby and Sapphire is that Wally gets Trico. Like, that's the starter, is the Trico. And then he's battling, I think he battles Rayquaza. It's been a while since I've read it. But he battles Rayquaza, and during the fight, the Pokeball with Sceptile falls into the ocean. And Sceptile is just gone. Like, you never see it again for the rest of the manga. And then later on in Emerald, we find out that Emerald found his Sceptile in the ocean. So he's rescuing the Sceptile from Ruby and Sapphire. which is a cool touch and a cool idea. But it was also like, dog, why'd you make Sceptile go through that shit? Like, just from my perspective, it was like, you really took Sceptile, a beloved member of the Starter Trio, and you fucking tossed that boy into the ocean for for an entire like manga and a half. Um, but yeah, I love the manga. Specials is great. The only reason I didn't continue reading on was because at the time there were no good quality translations for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I think Platinum had just started, so we got through Diamond and Pearl, and we had just reached Platinum. But we went from really decent scans to like, I took this with the Nokia kind of quality scans. So I was like, oh, I'll come back to this when it's further along and the scans are better and translations are better. And then I just never got around to it. But then I started hearing about the black and white manga and the ending of that, which, I mean, you know, it follows the events of the game for the most part. But basically, again, spoilers here, Black gets trapped inside the orb, and that's where part 1 ends. And then part 2 is, I think, about saving him. So lots going on there. But that whole arc got me interested in reading again, because I was like, I need to know what happens. I don't know anything about X and Y. I don't know anything about anything beyond that. But I at the very least want to get to the black and white arcs. I've heard Diamond and Pearl is great. I've heard Platinum's great, but I'm still pretty far off of those because I'm trying to reread everything just because I need to remember everything about this world. There's a lot of differences between, you know, it and the main series. For example, in the Red and Blue manga, I think it's Koga, Blaine, Sabrina, and Surge are all Team Rocket members. You know, so it's just a big story shift already. And there's more in Golden Sword. I won't spoil that, even though I've spoiled enough for the series. But yeah, I'm really enjoying rereading Pokemon Special. The art style has to be my favorite Pokemon art style outside of the original Sugimori water arts. Just, I love Special. It has a special place in my heart, you know? You get it, yeah. You know what I mean. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun to reread it. And on just like a little lame aspect of it is the ones I'm reading now were the big books. So like the red, blue, and yellow arc is split up into 3 books, and each one is like, the first volume is red, and it's a red book with red on the cover along with his Pikachu. Then the next one is blue, and he's on the cover, and the book is blue. And the next one is yellow, and it's yellow, and yellow's on the cover. Then gold is gold, and so on and so forth. It's just such a small aspect, such a little detail, but like I love that aspect of it. It makes me think of how bummed I am with the current games, where we haven't had the colored cartridges since, is it Gen 5? Or Gen 4, I guess. Yeah, Gen 4, you know. Little things like that made Pokemon so special. And it's just, it bums me out that we don't have that anymore. I guess you could say that Black was technically the last one that had a colored cartridge. And even then, it was just because of the IR sensors. It otherwise would have been a regular gray cart, but just by pure chance, it was a black cartridge, you know? But I really miss when Pokemon cartridges were different colors from the usual. And even with the Switch, like, the game disappears into the Switch, you know? I still want to see that color cartridge. It's cool to me, and I wish that the series kept that up. But yeah, you know, Pokemon Special, loving it. Really enjoying going through it. Something I'm looking forward to a lot coming up in the next month or so is Daima. The next Dragon Ball arc. That's coming out. That trailer came out, and man, there's so much life in that world. God damn it. Okay. Okay, so for some reason that worked. Will it work again? What did I do differently? Oh, interesting. Is this beatable? Am I like locked here? Do I need... I have to use the keys, right? Because... Okay, we're just gonna start warp panel going here. I don't think I need the elevator, right? I think I can just use the warp tiles, right? Oh, this is interesting. That elevator's fucked up. And it kind of might kill the run, honestly. But yeah, Diamond looks cool. That trailer sold me, because at first I was worried. I was like, oh, we're doing the Goku's a kid thing again. I don't know if I need that. I don't know if I want that. But I should never have doubted Toriyama, you know. Seeing that trailer and everything brought to life, when the new theme song kicked in, I just felt this chill. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy I get to see Goku again. I'm so happy I get to spend time with these characters again. You know, I'm still not ready to say goodbye to Toriyama, but just seeing those characters, it made me feel happy in a way that I don't usually get. But then with the dub, they're bringing back the OG Kid Goku voice, and that to me was like, all right, I'm watching the dub. I haven't watched the dub for Tournament of Power, just because at that point I was watching, you know, the original Japanese weekly, and the whole reason I wanted the dub was because that's what I grew up with. Those are the voices that I identified the series with. But then they played Ultimate Battle, and I was like, oh, the dub version of Ultimate Battle is ass. Like, this is garbage. There's zero passion or energy put into it. Meanwhile, the Japanese version, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. This song means something to me. But yeah, I heard the Ultimate Battle dub version, and I was like, oh, no, I'm gonna not watch this. Because it ruined some of the biggest scenes in the series for me, and I was like, no, I don't know if I can do this. I had watched the dub all the way up until Tournament Power, and then, you know, just had to make the switch because there was no more dub episodes for like another year or so. But that Ultimate Battle cover it made me not want to watch the dub. So for Daima to get back the original Kid Goku VA, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude, I'm watching the dub. That's all I needed. Now I'm on board again. But it does make me wonder, like, are we gonna get a different voice for Vegeta and Piccolo? Or are we just gonna have Chris Sabat with his grown ass Vegeta voice as Kid Vegeta? What's the Tisuke branch? Is that an original line, or is there like a Tisuke region that we just don't talk about? Is Tisuke another like region of Japan? I got questions. I don't know if anyone has answers. Oh, let me rephrase that. Is Chris Sabat gonna do grown ass adult voice for Chibi Piccolo and Chibi Vegeta, or are they gonna get new voices when they're little babified? And then, you know, in relation to Daima, you got Geekdom for some reason deciding he's gonna spoil the villains. Like, that's so fucking lame. Like, why do you gotta do that? And the reason it matters to me is like we just came at it with Jujutsu Kaisen, where the chapter leaks come out, and then immediately on Twitter it's just, all right, here's JJK spoilers, no running away from them. Didn't matter how massive they were, didn't matter how important they were. It was just, yeah, immediately it's up. And then here's Dragon Ball Daima, which we know very little about outside of what they've released in the trailers. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna spoil the main villains. Like, why? Why are you so pathetic that that's what you have to do, like, for attention? Just let us enjoy this. This is Toriyama's last gift to us, you know. But yeah, that bummed me out. Sparking comes out, or Sparking Zero comes out, I think in a couple weeks, maybe a couple days. I don't remember. I don't know when it's coming out. I know it's coming out like almost immediately though. But I won't have the money for it until next month, so I'm really looking forward to that. I wish it was more Budokai and less Budokai Tenkaichi. I don't know if that's a popular opinion. Like, the idea of Budokai Tenkaichi games were always cool to me, but I always preferred the Budokai games. So I wish that we got another one of those. And I know that we have fighters to fill the 2D fighter, but you know, Budokai was more like 2.5, more like a Tekken clone with a bunch of cool Dragon Ball stuff thrown in. So I just want that again. And Budokai Tenkaichi is more like a Dragon Ball Z simulator, I guess you could say. But we have Xenoverse to fill that role already, so I don't know when's Budokai getting love, you know? Still gonna play the fuck out of it, but when's Budokai gonna get that love, you know? This is rough. Get taking some hits here. But yeah, outside of that, I got Marvel vs. Capcom, or the collection, you know, and I've been meaning to play it, but just haven't had the time. I was playing on the Steam Deck for a bit, and my thumb was hurting, so I was like, I don't know if I could do this on the Steam Deck. I think I need a controller or a pad, and I don't play on pad. I've never played on the pad before, so I have to pick one of those up, I think. Just, I don't know, playing it with the Steam Deck, or playing any fighter with the Steam Deck. I played Street Fighter on there, I played Tekken on there, and now Marvel vs. Capcom. I think it's just the layout of the Steam Deck isn't as comfortable to me as a controller is, which bums me out, because it'd be so nice to just be able to play anywhere and play it comfortably. But yeah, that option apparently doesn't exist for me, so I need the controller, or I need to start learning how to get a pad. Start using either pad or Hitbox. But that'll be, I guess, my next month purchase. There's a lot of games that I want coming out soon. What's it called? The not Persona game, Metamorphosis or whatever the fuck it's called, Metanoise. That game looks incredible, and I'm like, man, I want that. But that comes out, I think, in exactly a month at this point. And in that time, I'm trying to play Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm trying to play Sparking Zero. Because I feel like once that game comes out, I'm dedicating a lot of my time to it, you know? I want to play the new Astrobots game, but I just haven't had the chance to pick that up. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out, and it's just, I don't have time for it, or I gotta make decisions on what I end up buying. And in relation to all that, they announced the PS5 Pro. $700 for no disc drive? No thanks. I don't. That's so insane to me. Like my PS5 is already $500, you know, for the disc drive. That's not counting taxes, you know, which brought it closer to $600. So now you're telling me that the upgrade has no disc drive, which I buy physical games just so that I have them on hand, you know, so that no matter what happens, I have a copy. And they're telling me that if I want to use them, I have to pay an extra $80 on top of the $700, not counting taxes. Like, dude, Sony, what are we doing? When you release a Pro console, that should be the best version of the console. It shouldn't be like, yeah, here's this key defining feature of one of our models, just not available on the Pro model. That's supposed to have everything, you know? It doesn't make sense to me. I can't wait for the Switch successor to come out or be revealed in the next coming months, just because it should shit all over that. And like, it doesn't matter to, like, I don't care about the power of the Switch successor, as long as it's an upgrade from the Switch, you know. But just the knowledge that just by being a Nintendo console, it's gonna be cheaper than the PS5 Pro. I'm like, yeah, I'm already sold on it. I was sold on it ahead of time. But now the knowledge that it's like, yeah, I know for sure it's gonna be under $700 fucking dollars. It's no contest for me. There's never gonna be a point in time where I'm like, dude, do I pick the new Switch or do I pick the PS5 Pro? Like, no, it's like I'm picking the new Switch. My one concern is like, is it gonna be stronger than the Steam Deck? Is it gonna be like, I don't think it will be, right? It'll probably be weaker. So that's one thing to kind of think about on my end. But the thing with Nintendo is they're always gonna have the games that I want. You know, I love Mario, I love Zelda, I love Pokemon. Pokemon alone is a system seller for me, or at least it should be. But the way the past couple gens have been, you know, hasn't always been true. Oh, so it's in Russia. Okay, well, that's less exciting than the idea of a new region, but whatever. But yeah, like, Pokemon used to be like a system seller for me. Now it's just like, yeah, I guess I might pick it up. Where is the healing room? Which series of Warp Toss do I need for the healing room? But yeah, you know, just $700 for no disc drive is insane. I genuinely don't understand how they came to that conclusion, one, and how you don't fire someone after this blunder, because there hasn't been a single person who I've seen be happy with this decision. There hasn't been a single person who was like, oh fuck yeah, dude, $700 for a PS5 Pro with no disc drive, like perfect. That's the product for me. Everything I've seen is just like, wow, this shit's ass. What a dumb fucking decision. Like, you gotta fire someone for that mistake, because it's just so out of touch. And then the whole selling point is like, here's The Last of Us on the PS5 base model. Here it is on the Pro. And I'm just looking at like, I don't see a fucking difference. There's one clip I saw where someone said, here's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the PS5, and here's it on the Pro. And I thought the base PS5 version looked better, and I was very confused because, like, why am I upgrading? What's the point? What's the point of this shit? Like, I don't care enough about 30 FPS versus 60 FPS for like 99% of my games. That's not a selling point to me. I don't know, man. I don't get why Sony does this. I don't get why. I don't get why. That's basically as far as I can think with Sony right now. I don't know why. But yeah, Switch 2, you know, looking forward to getting that. One thing I wonder about Switch 2 though is, like, Smash Brothers has always been such a big deal for the past few Nintendo consoles. My question is, what do you do with Smash now? Because if Sakurai is done with the series, which I feel like he is, but then again, I mean, he says that after every Smash game. Where do we go from here with Smash? Because Ultimate had like 90 fucking characters, and as fun as that was, you know, I can't see them continuing that. I can't see them being like, hey, we're gonna do another 90 characters, or even, hey, we're gonna do 60 characters and then, you know, release the rest of this DLC. It was just, it felt like that was so much out of them that I can't see them doing it again. Nope, not yet, Blue. Not yet, bro. So I don't know. I'm very interested in seeing where they go with it. Let me save state. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then you have the third party characters, and it's, are they gonna come back? I mean, I feel like the other companies have to recognize, hey, there's no downside to us giving this character to Nintendo for Smash. I could see maybe Sora, just in terms of what a legal nightmare that must be between Square Enix and Disney to loan a single character out. That being said, you know, if Sora's gone, I'm not gonna miss him. I don't give a fuck about Kingdom Hearts. You know, that doesn't mean anything to me. But he clearly does mean a lot to other people. So, is Sora a selling point to people? You know, and to me, the roster is so massive. How do you justify cutting characters at this point, though? Like losing Dr. Mario for one game, like that hurt. Losing the Ice Climbers, that hurt. I don't play Ice Climbers, but like I have friends and family who do. So for them to not have those characters, it was like, oh, that sucks. You know, I liked playing against you with those characters. And you know, how do we cut characters at this point? Especially when the roster is so massive, where it's like, I mean, I guess you can cut something like Incineroar, just because it's, at that point it won't be, you know, the fresh new Pokemon that they're trying to sell. It'll just be a Pokemon that's now like, what, 10 years old? You know, Incineroar I can see getting replaced by whatever the new marketing Pokemon is, you know, which at that point I guess would be like Gen 9. Or no, we're heading into Gen 10, you know. So there's that. But for other series, like, do we cut down the Mario characters? Do we go back to just Mario, Luigi, Bowser, and Peach? And then cut all the extra? You know, are they going to cut Rosalina and Daisy? Because Daisy's just a clone, you know, but Rosalina's her own character. Very unique characters. Like, do we cut her just because she's... Or is she now like, hey... The big four is now the big five, you know. For Zelda, you know, I don't see them cutting any Zelda characters. For Metroid, do we go back to just Samus? Do we lose Zeros with Samus, or do we keep both irritations and just cut Ridley and Dark Samus? Or is it Ridley's too important to cut now because he's the villain of the series and he deserves a spot? You know, so that's my big wonder with another Smash is, do we do it a reduced roster? And if so, how crazy are we talking? Like, do we cut them for balance reasons? Do we cut them just because, you know, we want less? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. Because truthfully, I would be fine if they just said, hey, here's Ultimate again. And they just tweaked the gameplay a little bit where it's like, oh, it's a little faster. You know, I feel like that's really all I need. If they just said, hey, we fucked around with Ultimate so that it plays more like Melee, but same roster, I'd be like, alright, cool, you sold me. And just like, even if they were just like, hey, here's an Ultimate re-release, you sold me. Because that game was just, I don't want to say perfect, but it was damn close. Okay, so I healed. Let me save here. I don't think I need the elevator, right? I think we're good to continue without it. But yeah, like in terms of Smash, that's my biggest concern. Is just what do we do with the roster? Because realistically I can't see it. I can't see it getting bigger, you know. But it's also hard to envision them going smaller after how crazy Ultimate was. We also haven't had a 3D Mario in forever, which is so strange to me because I thought for sure that we were gonna get. I thought for sure we would get DLC for Odyssey, and then that has never happened. So that's such a big surprise. But that at this point, Odyssey is like almost what 8 or 7 years old, and just we never got it, you know. terms of Zelda, I don't really know what I want from Zelda. I feel like it'd be cool to return to the traditional 3D style, but I'm not gonna be mad if we get another, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style game, because those are my two favorite games of all time, like just because of how fucking good they were, you know. So I can't complain about more of that, but it's also like I wouldn't mind another Wind Waker Ocarina style game, you know, because we still get the 2D games, we still get a new 2D every now and then, but we haven't had one of those since, I guess, Skyward Sword now, which at this point 15 years, right? That's crazy to think about. But yeah, like, it's been a while since we got that. So I'd like to see a return of that, or maybe Zelda now just has a third like pillar. You get the 2D games, you get the traditional Ocarina style game, and then you get the new open world style. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if it's feasible, but I think it'd be cool. And that was dangerously close. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing where Zelda goes. Pokemon, I feel like there's a lot riding on this next Pokemon game for me. In terms of like the competitive aspect, I feel like I'm gonna pick it up regardless because I enjoy the competitive aspect of it. I enjoy how much Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet streamlined getting a competitive team ready, but it's everything surrounding that I'm not enjoying. Like, I'm not enjoying how poorly put together the games are. Oh, we gotta switch you out, bro. It ain't safe for you here. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It bums me out. You're gonna survive that, right, bro? Failed you. Level 40. That's crazy, bro. I didn't even think about that. Was there even a safe switch in there? I mean, there probably was, but like, man, I fucked up. Cadriel got us this far, and I wasted his efforts, you know. That ain't a special attack, bro. But yeah, it's just, I've been disappointed by, I wouldn't even say like the last two gens. I would argue everything from Gen 7 onward has disappointed me. Gen 7 just took away so much exploration and just didn't, the world just didn't feel fleshed out the way that it should have been. Then Gen 8 was just so barren. I hated the wild area. It was just empty. There was zero exploration. The DLC kind of fixed that, but even then it still didn't. You know, it was still big empty areas. And then Sword and Shield came, or Scarlet and Violet came out and just were messes of a game. Sucks, because there was a lot I enjoyed. And then just a lot that felt so half-assed. And ignoring all that aspects, like ignoring the glitches, ignoring the bugs, ignoring the animations, ignoring how little exploration there really was in a lot of aspects of it. Like, yeah, it was cool that now we have like mountains we can climb, but there was never a point where I felt like, oh, I can get lost in here trying to find things. It always felt like, yeah, here's a big floor, everything looks the same, there's no real secrets here, it's just a big empty cave floor. And I just fuck you, man. You killed K. Drool. This is the first time he's actually killed one of our Pokemon, man. I'm devastated. Can you warp the Pokemon to the box? What's it gonna be? Alright, Corvus Choir. It's a cool name for a metal bird. But yeah, you know, I have zero faith in Game Freak at this point. And it sucks 'cause I love this franchise. I love the world of Pokemon. But it's just so hard to feel excited for what comes next in the games department. Especially with Paradox Pokemon. I like them from a design standpoint. I think a lot of them are cool. But it's just power creep that just feels unnecessary. And I mean, I like Mega Evolution, so I guess that's the same thing in a way. But I don't know. I would just like it if the next Pokemon game didn't have a gimmick. If it was just, you know, even if they were like, hey, no Mega Evolution, you know, no Z move, no Dynamax, no nothing, just take it back to Gen 4 or Gen 5 and just go from there, you know. I think that would be like the coolest thing. What am I missing here? Man, we have a really big hole now because we don't have a proper water or grass type. You had Giga Drain though, so I guess we're gonna go with that. But yeah, you know, I want the best Pokemon, but I have zero faith in Game Freak at this point. And I don't even know if it's like the issue is Game Freak themselves, or if it's their directing. You know, because I feel like there was a really solid start with Scarlet and Violet. I feel like they introduced a lot of cool things, and then the game just, you know, wasn't up to par. And I'm wondering, is it the developers aren't good enough for what they're going for? Is it this team's too small? Is it that they're too inexperienced with the technology? Like, what's the deal? I don't know. How do you fix that issue? Do you hire new people? Do you give them less limitations? Is it a budget issue? Like, what exactly is the problem there, you know, and how do you address it? But yeah, I'm concerned about Gen 10. And ignoring all that stuff, like I said, one of the biggest issues that I had with Gen 9 was the Ride Legendary. On paper, great concept. I enjoyed that it replaced HMs. It gave me a Pokemon that I cared about, and got to bond with over the course of the story. The issue is from an exploration aspect. I think giving it the gliding ability and the climbing ability so early on was a mistake, because it kind of just eliminated a lot of that exploration for me. And it wasn't even like purposely. It'd be like, oh, I need to get to that city. How do I get there? Well, I could run over there, or I could just glide. And then you would glide, and you'd be there almost instantly, you know. So I hope that they find a better way to balance that. Like, just lock all of that, lock the gliding and climbing to either late game or post game, or introduce obstacles that you can't overcome until that point in the game, just to limit you a little bit. Like, I don't know, Breath of the Wild and Tears did it so perfectly, and I don't know if I trust Game Freak to be able to replicate what, you know, the Zelda team does. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I also don't really want them to repeat the Riding Legendary, because it's like, yeah, it was a great idea, maybe we hold off on that again for another gen or two. You know, maybe Gen 9 or 10 does like something different. Maybe it's a Rotom system now. Maybe now Rotom is more relevant to the plot, you know? I don't know. Here's Big Daddy G, bro. Ready to get fucked up? Grimer. Oh, it's Lolan. Dark. It's just Flamethrower. Yeah, get fucked. Defense fell? Alright, we'll switch you out after this match. I can't believe we lost K. Drool. Drillbur. Yeah, he's getting fucking a Flamethrower too, bro. Say Zapdos? Did I misread that? Is that, let's say Zapdos? Oh shit. Oh shit. Come on, Muzdale. It's stamina to the rescue, bro. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Gotta heal you after this round. See, when you said Zapdos, I thought I was gonna see, you know, traditional Cantonian. Oh shit. Oh shit. I thought we were gonna see Cantonian Zapdos. Instead, here comes this Galar fuck. Shit, it's gonna get Defiant. It's gonna raise the attack. I think Mudsdale has to stay in, bro. I mean, on paper, I think my other Pokemon can outspeed you now, but like, that's scary. Who checks this? Is it just? Oh shit, that's rough. Oof. Okay, we can't use Rocktomb anymore. Oh, that's not good. That's not good, bro. I don't like this. I don't like this game. Oh, make it stop. Make it stop. Oh, Mudbray. Oh, it's kind of weak too. Alright, so we finished episode 1 with the party of 3. You were our boy till the very end, Mudsdale. I'm so sorry that I failed you. Alright, King. I'm risking it all here, but it's up to you. Heavy losses today, man. I feel like we lose pursuit here. Man. Now it's a Kingler, which would have been such a good, easy matchup for Cage Rule. Man. We won, but at what cost? Man, just back-to-back battles there where we lost an important member of the team. It wasn't supposed to be this way, man. Vaporeon was supposed to be there to help us out. We got this Master Ball now, so that's cool. Man. A lot of heavy losses on Sliph Co. Saffron City's just been rough to us. I guess maybe we were just riding too high for too long. But man, to go from not having lost a single Pokemon and for over like half the game to just losing three of our most solid members in such a short amount of time. Man. But that'll do it for me today. I'm gonna go grieve the loss of the homies and call it a night. So man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Man. Till next time. Peace.